It was the winter of 1893. In the quiet Appalachian village of Raven Hollow, nestled deep in the misty woods of North Carolina, stood a long-forgotten manor known to locals as Blackridge Hall. Time had turned the once grand estate into a rotting skeleton of its former glory. Trees wrapped around its structure like twisted fingers, and vines strangled the crumbling walls. People said a wealthy railroad baron named Cornelius Blackridge once lived there. But after a scandal and his sudden disappearance, the estate was abandoned. Some whispered he had hidden a fortune within the manor before vanishing without a trace. Others said the house was cursed, warning that those who went in search of the treasure never came back. For nearly half a century, the manor remained untouched, a place avoided even by the bravest souls of the village. Then came Eli Turner, a sharp-witted but down-on-his-luck young man who worked odd jobs around town to care for his ailing mother. Orphaned at 10, Eli had grown up hearing the stories about Blackridge Hall from old men in dusty rocking chairs and from drunkards at the general store. Most laughed them off. Eli didn't. With his mother's health worsening and no money for the medicine she needed, Eli decided to do the unthinkable: uncover the truth about the treasure of Blackridge Hall. One frosty January night, under a cloud-shrouded full moon, Eli set out with little more than a lantern, a length of rope, and a dull hunting knife passed down from his grandfather. He left a note beside his mother's bed: "I'll be back by dawn." The iron gate of Blackridge Hall moaned in protest as Eli pushed it open. The snow crunched beneath his boots as he stepped through the overgrown yard. The mansion loomed ahead, its silhouette a jagged outline against the foggy night. Inside, the air was still and bitter cold. The floor creaked with every step. Dust floated in the dim lantern light, and crooked portraits of long-dead aristocrats watched him from the walls with faded, sunken eyes. Suddenly, Eli noticed something odd. A bookshelf near the hearth looked newer than the others. When he tapped it, a hollow echo answered. He used the rope to pull it forward, revealing a narrow, hidden doorway. Beyond it, a spiral staircase twisted downward into darkness. Heart-pounding, Eli descended. The stone steps led to a tunnel. The air was thick with the stench of mildew and old rot. Strange symbols were carved into the walls, and ancient torches, though long unlit, lined the corridor. His footsteps echoed behind him too many times. He stopped. The echo kept going. Then came a voice. "Alone, hollow whisper, who walks the path of greed?" Eli spun around, holding up his lantern. A figure stood in the shadows, an elderly man in a tattered 19th century suit, his eyes glowing faintly in the dark. His face was oddly familiar, like one of the men from the portraits upstairs. The man stepped forward. "This treasure belongs not to thieves, but to the one whose heart is true. Speak your purpose." Eli, shaken but determined, told the truth. He wasn't there for greed. He just wanted to help his dying mother. He said he didn't even know if the treasure was real, only that he had no other choice. The old man stared at him for a long moment, then nodded solemnly. "Then your burden shall be lifted. But know this, the hall must die for its sin." Suddenly, a hidden panel in the wall slid open, revealing a chamber filled with glittering gold coins, rubies, emeralds, and antique heirlooms, relics of the Blackridge fortune. Eli didn't question it. He grabbed an old wooden chest, filled it as best he could, and retraced his steps. As he emerged from the manor into the breaking dawn, snowflakes drifting through the air, the villagers who had gathered gasped in disbelief. There was Eli, alive, and holding a chest of untold wealth. But then something even stranger happened. Before anyone could speak, the wind howled through the trees, and Blackridge Hall began to tremble. The ground beneath it cracked, the walls groaned like dying beasts, and within moments, the entire mansion collapsed in on itself. By sunrise, there was nothing left. Not a brick, not a beam, just dust, as if the house had never existed. Eli used the treasure to buy medicine and care for his mother, who recovered within weeks. He built a school and gave jobs to men who had none. He never spoke about what he saw in the tunnel, nor the man who had tested his heart. And though many searched the woods for Blackridge Hall, not a trace of it was ever found again. But on certain misty nights, old folks say you can still hear the echo of creaking floorboards and the whisper of a forgotten voice asking, "Who walks the path of greed?"